Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator. Derek here with MB Defense Solutions. There's been a lot of Glocks and scars all over social media and articles being written. And what's going on? What are we seeing here with the scars? Let's start with the scars.
I did a little bit of research since this happened recently. The SCAR 16S, SCAR 17S, SCAR 20s, all of them look like they're going to be discontinued, the semi-auto lineup.
Essentially, they're getting rid of the SCAR line here. The iconic SCAR line is going away, which is interesting because these have kind of been a part of the American gun culture for a long time, especially in movies and video games, U.S. Special Forces. You know, when you look back in history, that was why the SCAR was developed, special operations. So what video games do we see the SCARs in?
So the most iconic of like my generation, which is Gen Z and younger than that, or Gen Alpha, would be Fortnite. The other games would be like, I remember growing up playing this in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 using the SCAR.
I remember Battlefield 2 had the SCAR L and the SCAR H, I think, in it. I mean, they're beautiful, but they are very expensive. Given the price point currently of SCARs, if they discontinue the SCAR lineup, where do you think we might see SCAR prices go to in the next 10 years?
Next 10 years, I could see it going up. But in the next 2 years, 2 to 5 years, I could see it kind of stagnating to be lower end. But it could also go skyrocket high. So it's all a betting game. It's all a betting game.
It's a collectability market. So as the younger generations get older, they might be more inclined to collect certain weapons from their younger years that were iconic and in a lot of the media that they took in, like video games, which I think now we've kind of moved on from seeing guns in movies and shows, and a lot more kids collecting the guns that they like in video games because they're cool from video games.
I can lead to that. I very much collect some firearms that has been in video games.
I mean, do you guys collect based off of video games more or movies and shows more? Let me know in the comments section. Now, when it comes to the SCARs, there's only so many that are going to be left in these stores, and you've got how many SCARs?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 as of this moment.
And so you've got the SCAR 20, which is kind of like a DMR.
The SCAR 17, I also got that, which this is chambered in 308. Here you go. Hold this for a second.
Check that out. And, you know, it's interesting. Just the weight is not bad at all on these SCARs, yeah.
And that's without a scope and everything.
Without any sights or anything, without any optics. So, yeah, so we take the two SCARs and we put them next to each other.
And then this is also the SCAR 16S.
So this is the 16S here.
Which is chambered in 5.56.
Yeah. So this one's got the optics, got Trigicon, it's got a front grip here. It's got a bipod. So you just kind of put all this stuff on here just to give it a little bit more, just to make it look a little bit cooler sitting in the store, because you have this on display here on the front on the shop. Now these are multicam, and that one's in the chocolate chip. You've got another multicam one up there. That's a 17.
We pull that out.
That's a BDU one right there. 17.
They call it woodland green.
Woodland green. So we got 3 different camouflages here, and a lot of people don't really like these because they're kind of ugly. Everyone likes the OG kind of coyote tan, a dual tone color pattern here like you see on the 20. Yeah, some people just don't really like these, but you know, if you're looking for a SCAR and you don't mind getting one that's camouflaged, I'm sure there's a lot of them out there that are just sitting on shelves unwanted. All right, Glock talk. Look at the Glocks. You got some Glocks here. What's going on with the Glocks?
Glocks are going to discontinue some of their line. The ones that are not going to be discontinued is the 43X, the Glock 43, and the Glock 48.
They're going to change the crucible style sear to more of a different shape, so that way it's not easily converted. Essentially, this has stemmed from a lot of lawsuits coming especially out of California, and they banned the Glocks from being sold in California.
Crazy.
And when it comes down to it, it's like, okay, Glock is now forced at hand to change their design.
That has been tried and true for 5 generations.
Yeah. So,
or technically Gen 5.
If you have an older Glock, you probably have a more collectible Glock, because as things change, as manufacturers change their design, the retro designs, they just become nostalgic and collectible, and they know that it's built differently. I mean, we saw this with the Winchester 1894s. You know, the Winchester 1894, probably the most used and still probably one of the most used hunting rifles. And when they changed their design, it just made the older design more collectible. Right now, we're seeing Gen 1 Glocks are highly sought after because there's not that many in the States, and that's the original Glock design. The Gen 2s are very close to the Gen 1s and in design-wise, and those are now becoming a lot more sought after and known as retro Glocks. But you can still get them as surplus, police surplus, because there's tons of these Glocks that were used by police. It's a tried and true platform. So when it comes down to it, as police forces update their Glocks, update their other pistols, they're going to liquidate the older ones and they'll come onto the surplus market. With the new V model Glocks coming out, that might raise the prices, especially in the surplus market, for these older Glocks. So be on the lookout, because I think if you can get yourself a surplus Glock now or even later, it might appreciate in the future. Not saying it will, but it might become a little bit more collectible. If you have a budget and you want to get a Glock, an older Glock at a budget,
you can easily get them for like $350 to $400, all the way up to $450.
I wouldn't say it would be wise to wait till later to get one. It might make sense that if you see them on a surplus website now, you might as well get one now. So how many Glocks do you have here?
Probably about like 10. And that's not even including used. And then I probably got 12 in the back.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you're Glocked out.
I'm Glocked out, yes, sir. I do carry a Glock. I love my Glocks, man.
See, and a lot of people do. I'm sure you get a lot of people that come in here looking for a Glock.
Yes, a good bit. And the biggest model that does sell in this store is mainly the 43X, which is surprising. That's not the model that's getting discontinued.
So definitely looking at Glocks and scars to potentially go up in value as time goes on. So these could be good collectible pieces if you're looking for them. What do you guys think in the comments section? Do you think that these scars and these Glocks, these older Glocks, are going to be highly sought after?
I mean, my thought of it is that the Glocks might go up in value in like 20 years.
Yeah.
To 10 years, or mainly 20 to 15 years, because they're probably going to be more sought out after.
Yeah, and there's so many more Glocks out there than there are scars.
Scars, yes, 100%.
And the other thing is, like, yeah, Glocks are in video games too, but no one cares, like, what model Glock is in the game.
It's
they
just a
know
Glock.
there's a Glock. And they're not discontinuing Glocks. They're just coming out with a new model of Glock that's going to be a little different. And so a Glock is a Glock, and somebody looking for a Glock might just get a new Glock instead of paying the same price or maybe a little bit more for an older Glock.
Now, the ones that I can see going after or thought after is like Gen 3s or Gen 4 models rather than Gen 5s. Me personally, I love the Gen 5s because everything's ambidextrous, so you can change the slide. Well, the slide release is already ambidextrous, but you can change out the magazine release. Compared to the Gen 3, that one's just a straight, simple little button.
Yeah, but a lot of people like the Gen 3s because of the mechanics. They say it's really reliable. It's really, really reliable Glock.
Another reason why they like it is because the upgradability in the market. There's so much out there to upgrade your Glock.
3s.
Yes, for the Gen 3s. And then also they lost the patent number for the Gen 3s as of recently.
Yeah, so there are people making copies of older Glocks and scars. PSA has their Jackal series, which is a PSA version of the scar.
And the Ruger also has theirs.
And it's a lot cheaper than a scar. And Ruger has theirs too, yeah. So I think that might be another reason why Scar, like FN, might be discontinuing scars, because there's so many more cheaper alternatives to an actual scar that they're like, well, no one's going to buy our scars. And honestly, what do you notice that I've noticed in the last year, 2 years, is that the gun shops have not been doing very well as far as sales, and not a lot of enthusiasm for gun buying.
It's more of online market, which is, even then, I still see a lot less people buying guns online nowadays. It's just the market has been very horrible as of recently.
And so I would equate that to the boom of the a boom and bust cycle, to the pandemic time frame when there was a huge boom in gun sales, and after a big boom there's going to be some kind of a bust or a retraction in sentiment, and I think that's what we're seeing these last 2-3 years is just a huge amount of people just saying, hey, we don't really want to buy a gun because we did what we did during the pandemic. We got guns in the pandemic, or we don't need one. What I really need is some eggs and some bread to feed my family.
I could say this much, during COVID, the statistics of how many brand new buyers was like double or triple times in the COVID whenever it happened in 2020 to 2021. And then a lot of brand new buyers are not coming in as much as it used to be. Mm-hmm. So now instead of seeing like 20 clients a week saying, hey, I'm buying my first gun, I'm getting once every 2 weeks or twice every 2 weeks.
And I mean, it's just the way the market rolls. It's cyclical. So we are probably going to see in maybe 5 to 10 years another boom cycle. What do you think?
It could not be. It depends on how the world has revolved. That's true. The biggest fact.
Yeah. So we don't know what we don't know, and we're not future tellers, so we can't tell the future. We can only make assumptions based on what we're seeing now, with scars and Glocks being the hot topics of the day. Well, you got anything else there?
I appreciate you guys watching this, and we always like followers. We always appreciate the feedback and everything like that.
Definitely. And if you get a chance, you might want to stop by Martinez, Georgia, or Martinez,
as we say it.
Depending on where you're from. And check out MB Defense Solutions. Go say hi to Derek. Just stop in and say hi to Derek.
I don't bite, all right?
Yeah. You might also see a couple other people that work here, but,
I say the best guns are these.
Oh, my gosh.
You don't know how many kids I say that to. They're like, hey, what's the most dangerous gun? These. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Pulverize the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Make it a great day.